I decided to make this video today in honor of Earth Month, and yes, you heard me right. Apparently now we are doing an entire month, not just a day, and I'd love to know what you think about that before I give you my personal feelings about why and if it's a good thing that we've moved from Earth Day to Earth Month. Let me know in the comments before I give you my take, okay? Because I'm gonna give it to you like right now. So my thoughts are that I think Earth Day should be every day, okay? Like in my life, Earth Day is every day. I don't only care about the planet or do good things for the planet on Earth Day, obviously. But I get that for the everyday person, having one day a year to really focus your attention on giving a shit about the planet, or to refocus your intentions, or to take a look at your actions or things that you're doing or things that you care about, what's going on in the world. I get the purpose of having like one day dedicated to everybody focusing on that thing. And I feel like making it a whole month can kind of water that down. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion. Actually, I asked you guys on Instagram what you thought, and these are the people who thought it's a good thing, and these are the people who thought maybe not so good. Which, by the way, if you're not following me over on Instagram, you should do. But here's why I think it can water it down, because there's less laser focus, right? Asking people to care and to pay attention and to do things differently for a whole month is a lot bigger of an ask than one day. I think it's mostly due to marketing. I think that the reason this is happening is because brands and marketers have figured out a way to take Earth Day and use that momentum all month long to sell shit. Honestly, that's why I think Earth Day has turned into a month-long celebration. And I can tell you, from the emails in my inbox over the last couple months, like I remember when I worked for the Office of Sustainability at Texas A&M, the buildup for us to Earth Day was so intense, and like that was our event. That was like one of the biggest events we prepared for. I did their social media, and I was also an outreach, I was like a speaker for them. So that was like the big thing, right? I got to speak to hundreds of students that day. I was always making things for the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But there was no Earth Month, and this was just, you know, well, I guess I'm getting kind of old now. That was like probably 5 years ago. So speaking of those brands that I said are in my email, that's what today's video is mostly going to be about. All of the pitches I've gotten, and low-key all the money I've turned down, from brands that are definitely not sustainable, but they're trying so hard to make themselves sound like they are in honor of Earth Day. And one of them was so blatantly obvious, it's actually the reason that this video was inspired. So we'll save the best one towards the end, so make sure you stay tuned. Okay, let's get into it. There are a few different themes I saw continuously pop up in emails that I got, and I think I'm allowed to legally talk about these things. I didn't sign NDAs for any of them, so. But the first theme I saw were like massive brands having tree planting schemes. They're just planting trees. That's it. So the first one that actually some of you sent me over on Instagram and I got an email for, to do a brand deal with, is HP, and they partnered with this tree planting organization, which I'm sure the organization is lovely. And along with their partnership, they also did, this is what I kind of like, was like, oh, okay, that's good. They weren't just planting trees, they also were using that as a way to talk about the fact that they have removed any deforestation from their packaging and their products. However, I don't know if you know what HP is, but they're a tech brand, and their main thing that they are using as products and their main contributor to environmental destruction wouldn't be trees, it would be tech waste. And look, point blank, I'm not here to ever say that giant, huge tech companies are like amazing and incredible and doing good things for the planet. But HP has made some improvements, okay, so I'm glad that they've done those. But aside from that, we've still got things leading to a crazy amount of e-waste that we really don't have strong solutions for. A lot of times that waste is shipped over to countries where people don't even use the tech like they actually have to deal with and sort through. Tech waste is actually a really clear example of environmental racism, where the wealthy elite of the world use these tech items, and then when they're done with it, they ship it off to countries with people of color where they're left to deal with our mess. And I think that if you want to create an Earth Day campaign as a tech company, it should be around solving the issues that your company's created. So to me, that's just flat out greenwashing. We're ignoring all these problems and being like, but we planted some trees, y'all, and we're not going to cut down any more trees, so we're good, right? No. No, that's not good enough.
Thank you so much for this. It was entirely unhelpful, but thank you nevertheless.
Sticking with the theme of tree planting, apparently Herbal Essence, same thing. They plant trees every Earth Day, and that's their Earth Day thing. I think it's fine to plant trees in honor of Earth Day. Like I said, I think it's a good day for everyone to focus on doing something good for the planet. It doesn't make you a sustainable brand, and it's not really something that I particularly want to be paid to talk about because your brand is not great. This is it. They don't tell you how they're being more sustainable, how they're going to change their environmental impact from their business. This is the whole pitch that they gave me. Herbal Essence is on a mission to bring the positive power of plants and nature into our lives. We're deeply committed to sustainability and our responsibility to protect our planet. How? In celebration of Earth Day, Herbal Essence is partnering with the Nature Conservancy for its second annual tree. Oh, second annual. This is only their second time. I thought this was a thing they were doing regularly. Maybe it will become a thing they do regularly. Okay, I digress. Renew the forest. So that's it. They're partnering with the Nature Conservancy to plant some trees for Earth Day. Good for you, but that doesn't mean I really want to promote you. I'm so sorry. Not sorry, actually. I got sent this a lot. The Schick Intuition Razor. Also got an offer to be paid to talk about it, but here I am. Instead of being paid, I'm talking shit about them on the internet. Whatever. So I personally don't shave. You probably know this about me. Can I? This is really professional, Shelby. I stopped shaving in college when I realized how fucking expensive it was, and also combined with everyone who's been a student knows, your brain is always thinking you're too busy to do anything. There's so many different reasons people don't shave, but I'm just disclaiming this part with that I don't. However, there are already existing zero waste, more sustainable ways to shave out there, and what Schick decided to do and try to use Earth Month as a way to promote it is icky to me. Largely because they marketed this as a literal disposable razor. It's literally in the name, disposable razor. Still a plastic head, but what I thought was kind of cool is that the blades were made with 75% recycled steel. I like that. And in the product's tagline it says, almost no plastic waste. I hate this. I hate this so much. So the problem here is that there are several materials in this razor. I'm just gonna, Tara, you guys know my editor, Tara. Hi, Tara, you can say hi. We're gonna have her pop it up right here and I'm gonna point like a teacher. I talked about this in a video recently where I talked about why I hate the zero waste movement. I'm gonna link it right here. Anything we buy, the chances that things have it getting recycled, anything we buy has a most highly likelihood that it is going to end up in the landfill. That is the place it is most likely to end up. Okay, but not only that, but they're marketing this razor as disposable. So they want their customer to see this as, these are more eco-friendly materials, but it's disposable. They want people to throw this into the trash. The only way that this can be disposed of in an eco-friendly way is the landfill. You've got a bamboo handle right here, that's compostable if you take it apart. So this plastic head of the razor, that has to go to the landfill because it's way too tiny and weird intricate parts to be recycled. But in order for it to be sent to landfill, it needs to be detached from the blades, which are technically recyclable even though they are really small steel if you put them with other larger pieces of steel. If you're someone who uses disposable razors and throws one away every week, every other week, this could be a better option. I just think there are better options out there, and I don't love that they're marketing a disposable as eco-friendly when there are plenty of reusable options out there. Okay, I don't know who told celebrities we need more bottled water brands, but let me just tell you, we don't. If celebrities gave a shit about the environment and people and doing something more sustainable, they would figure out a way to give more people access to clean drinking water instead of selling them expensive water in single-use bottles that we just don't fucking need. So I got an email from Jason Momoa's watered bottle brand because it's packaged in aluminum. And okay, I've talked about this before, but I do think aluminum is one of the most sustainable materials to make a product out of because aluminum is one of the most recyclable materials. So I'll give them that. Yes, I think that is a good thing. I think in situations where you need bottled water, right, like in my emergency kit, I do have bottled water. It is packaged in recycled aluminum. But the way these celebrity brands are marketing it and using it and telling people to drink out of them is not in that way. They're using it as a daily source of water. And one thing I learned while I was in school, and I'm gonna carry this with me to my grave, is that the actual water that comes out of your tap is more monitored and regulated than bottled water companies. Where your water comes from in most places, at least in the US and in the Western world, is monitored up to 90 times a day to make sure there is nothing bad in that water that is going to make you sick. Bottled water companies literally do not have that same regulation. They do not have to meet the same standards that your city and your state have to in order to run a water system. At the end of the day, if I was a billionaire, multimillionaire, hell, even if I was a millionaire, and I gave a shit about the environment and people and water specifically, I would do everything I could to try to figure out a way to give people who don't have access to clean water access to that water. But that's not what's happening here. Celebrities are making a grab at selling something that is sustainable because people think that's cool right now. Jason Momoa's brand is probably fine if you're looking for something for your emergency preparedness kit. I do think that his product might be a good option then, because they do the 1% for the planet thing. They use recycled aluminum. It is a recyclable thing. They don't talk anything about ethically sourcing the water, which I found peculiar. But drinking water out of single-use bottles on a normal basis will never be sustainable. It's just not. If you've heard of the brand called Adore Me, I think they're like a baby step up from a fast fashion brand. They're not Shein, okay? They're not Shein or Forever 21 or those sort of brands, but they're not a sustainable brand. But they reached out to me because they are starting their very own sustainability page on their website, which is a good thing, and almost every brand should have a commitment to sustainability. That doesn't then make you a sustainable brand that like I feel I should give promotion to. That's just my stance on it. So I went to their sustainability page and saw that they are actually doing measurable things to make a difference in their brand, which I thought was really good. Like, I think this should be normal. I think what we label as like a sustainable brand now should be what we're aiming to get like every brand over to, right? And as that goalpost moves, brands starting a sustainability page doesn't feel like a sustainable thing to me. It just feels like, yeah, you should be. Does that make sense? But I think the difference between greenwashing and actually trying to do better is when a brand changes the structure of their business or the basis of their business, they don't just add on something to make more money, right? So take, for instance, Adore Me. Like their sustainability page outlines ways that they're going to change their whole business. They're going to start incorporating more recycled materials into all of their products by XYZ year. Old Navy released a very similar report. By this year, we're going to incorporate this many more eco-friendly fabrics. We're going to be carbon neutral by this date. We're going to stop using these sort of materials in our packaging. We're going to stop using this sort of, like, there are goals that change the business model. What I think is greenwashing is when you keep your business model and then you say, we're going to plant some trees. We're not going to address the actual problems, environmental problems that we're contributing to. We're just going to do this other thing, slap some green paint on it, basically greenwashing, and call it good. I don't think those are examples of brands doing better. I think what Old Navy and Adore Me released during Earth Month is them doing better. Do I think that makes them a sustainable brand? No. But I don't think I'd call it greenwashing. I think I would call it them doing better. Okay, have you seen this? This Starbucks cake pop. I saw it when I was at South by Southwest, like before April even started, they had it. And I was like, that's so cute. Like, I think it's cute. Okay, admittedly, it's cute. But let me tell you what I was able to find out online about it, is that it's not giving back to any organizations. I thought that maybe they were selling this cake pop and like a portion of the proceeds went to like an environmental organization or like a nonprofit. I think that would be kind of a cool way to use it. The problem I have with this cake pop is it has animal products in it, which are really not sustainable, especially that Starbucks doesn't have any certain standards to meet like ethical welfare for animals. They don't have any standards for sustainable ingredients in their products. They don't have that.
Yeah, and can I also have the pumpkin loaf?
I'm so sorry, we're actually all out of our loaves this morning.
Okay, perfect.
So this cake pop had animal products in it. Also, one of the first ingredients on its list is from palm oil. And I have a lot of thoughts on palm oil. I don't think palm oil is the devil. I think there are sustainable ways to do it, but it's not responsibly sourced palm oil. So then it's just adding to this whole thing of destroying the rainforest, disrupting habitats, like just so many problems associated with palm oil. I could do a whole video on that. If you guys are interested, let me know. I really didn't like that. I just thought it would be a fun one to mention, but that's not cool. This was a good pitch. I got pitched by Kleenex to talk about their sustainability at Costco. What's so funny is that Kleenex didn't even bother trying to give me things about their brand that is sustainable, right? A lot of times when these brands pitch you, they'll be like, we're sustainable because blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. You didn't say anything. But Kleenex didn't even try to do that. They're like, we want you to talk about Kleenex on Earth Day and incorporate sustainability into the message however you see fit. Literally, let me read you this sentence. Share about Kleenex at Costco and Kleenex's messaging on sustainability in a way that is authentic to your content. I emailed them back and said there's no way I can talk about Kleenex's sustainability authentically in my content because I don't believe single-use products are sustainable. Let me clarify. I don't think single-use products, when they're such an easy, more affordable, better to use alternative to your single-use product, I don't believe that your single-use product should be marketed as sustainable. That's just my opinion. Okay, now for my favorite one. I don't think I signed anything saying I couldn't talk about this, because sometimes what will happen is that this agency will email you and go, I have a brand that wants to work with you, sign this NDA, and then you do, and then they tell you who it is and you're like, why did I sign that? Like, I don't want to do this. This one is from a brand named after the rainforest and their service that rhymes with shrine. Just in case I did sign something, but I don't think I did. This was my favorite because they literally sent over a brief that was clearly a brief that they send like to every influencer that they work with. The brief basically just outlined the service, like you pay this much a month and you get all these benefits and this is why it's great and blah, 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 blah. It's like a 10-page presentation about why rainforest name shrine rocks, right? They probably send this to everybody. What I found really interesting, why I thought this was so funny, but also sad. Within this slide, there was one deck and it was blank. And at the top of it, it said Earth Day talking points. TBA. If you don't understand what that means, is that they literally took the brief that they used to promote their service any other time anybody promotes it. They threw a slide into there called Earth Day Talking Points, but they sent the brief to me without filling it out. AKA, they were gonna pull something out of their ass to make this service sound sustainable in order for them to market it for Earth Day. This was a very blatant example to me of greenwashing. We've got this service we talk about and promote all the time. Throw a slide in there so that we could make it sound sustainable and then we could market it on Earth Day. But before we send it to the person we want to market it for Earth Day, don't come up with any of the things that are like kind of sustainable that we can spin into an Earth Day campaign. Like, they just didn't even take the time to try to make it sound better for the pitch. They were like, oh, we'll figure it out once she lets us know if she wants to move forward. We'll come up with some talking points for her. That was my favorite one by far. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. Now, as I was making this video, I got a lot of questions about brands that I've actually already discussed at length. So I'm actually gonna leave right here on the screen my playlist of ranking sustainable brands where you can go see me evaluate and talk about a lot of the brands that you were asking about. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Not greenwashing though. Bye guys.